now we're seeing the big growth of online, the big growth of companies like MySize, that tools like ours are needed for the online and consumer journey, and not just for the online business to make more money, but for the planet that we're living in. Let's buy only one item. Let's buy an item that we actually need instead of buying 3 or 4 items or 5 different pairs of shoes because we know we can return it.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. This episode is powered by J Ventures, a community-driven VC fund in Silicon Valley, in partnership with Lomitech, and sponsored by Homeward Ventures, Hippo Insurance, Upwest, Hillel at Stanford, Leap, and Birthright Excel. Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. I'm joined today by Ronen Luzon, the founder and CEO of MySize Inc. Ronen is a serial entrepreneur and a skilled manager with a track record of success across various industries. Prior to founding MySize, he established and led startups in the medical devices and communication sectors. Among his other endeavors, Ronen founded Malers, a company that has grown to be a leader in the global security solutions market and provides some of the most advanced technological solutions for integrated communication infrastructures, security, and control systems. Prior to that, he held several senior marketing, sales management, and professional services positions in a variety of international high-tech companies. Ronen graduated from Middlesex University in London with a B.sc in IT and Business Information Systems. Ronen Luzon, welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. How are you?
I'm good. Great to be here. Thank you.
I'm really excited to have you here. There's a lot for us to talk about, both on the business side, the leadership side. You're currently the founder and CEO of MySize, traded first on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, but also on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, MYSZ. And I'm excited to hear about your personal journey, but also the journey of MySize, how you came up with it. I believe it's a little bit of a different industry than what you worked in before, and you are as a serial entrepreneur. You've had your hands full in quite a few industries, and I'm excited to hear a little bit about the big milestones there and what you've learned. And so perhaps we can start by you taking me back a little bit throughout your life, and I'd love to hear of a few milestones and the insights that you've gained from them that lead you to where you are today.
How far you want me to take you?
I'll let you choose.
How far back? So I started as a kid. I was a stubborn kid. I was a kid who didn't want to learn, and I was almost kicked out of school in 10th grade.
Wow!
And then I only loved electronic and electricity. That's the only thing I've loved. And then when I almost got kicked out of school, the manager of the school said, look, brought my parents in and told my parents, look, Ronen is a brilliant kid, but he doesn't want to learn. But I give him 2 options. Or he will go for the dancing group of the school, me dancing, or he's out. He will be on the street or wherever. And then I found myself dancing in the dancing school of I don't know if anybody knows this story other than my wife and my kids. And then I found myself as a guy with afro on his head. Now I don't have hair at all, but it was afro back then. Dancing in the dancing group of the school in Hadera back then in Israel, and the years went by, and we were one of the best dancing group in Israel, and
amazing.
We found ourselves traveling in Germany and the UK and France, demonstrating our beautiful dancing skills all over the place. I finished school. I graduated school, and I continued to do 2 extra years in engineering because of the manager of the school, because he believed in me. And he gave me the option.
Wow.
Of continuing, and in that I called stubbornness and believe in the other person. And that's something that I took with me for all the rest of the years that they're still here, and everybody I'm talking with, all the people that work for me or work with me, I always give them a second and third option, because you always look at the man behind
Wow.
the scene, or behind that, what it reflects, because there's sometimes you have the person attitude, but sometimes it's just a shield. Sometimes it's just a shield to things behind him that you take some time to figure out and to understand. Give him the option, give him the space, believe in him, and then you get the real person came out. And that's something that I've learned many years ago. That's something on me that I take with me from this manager who taught me
Incredible.
some how to be a human being, not just a manager, not just an employee.
I love it.
Just
I
a
love it.
small story,
I
small
need
story
a
of me
few more
back
at
then.
least. I can already see where this is going.
So yeah, after I graduated the army and everything, I went to do my first degree in the UK. Went with a friend to do my first degree in the UK, and came back. Started to work in a technology company in Israel, and I started as a programmer, as an engineer, and then I took the steps from there and ended after about, I think it was 10 years that I worked in this company as a sales manager in on Europe. I worked in Japan, in the US. I traveled all around. I met
Wow.
so many people and so many different cultures. It was great experience. And then I started um, my how to bring my ideas to life. And I have and still have a lot of ideas, different ideas that I always love to see how they come to life. And I've built 4 different companies. Two of
Unbelievable.
them crashed and burned. One successful, still working.
Exactly where we left off. So your 4 companies, 2 crashed and burned, one that is still running, and MySize. Keep going.
And MySize, I started all when actually I've ordered uh, some garments for my kid. Back then he was a big NBA fan, a big NBA for the kid. He was 9 years old. I don't know if you can call him a big NBA fan, but still. So, but he was keep changing his teams from Lakers to Boston. Like every month there was a different team, and we have to buy him a different outfits. But when buying different outfits, we realized that the sizes are wrong, and then we understood that there is a problem here. There's a problem with the industry. There's a problem with online. That was 2013, as I
Wow.
recall. Then we came up with this MySize that let's build a unified ID system that will travel with each and every consumer wherever you go. This is my ID. That's me. That's my body. And please, instead of me looking for the right size at the right brand, so the brand will give me the size that I need. And then we came up with using the mobile phone as a sensor based, as a ruler, as a measurement device for actually measuring your body. Then there is all this privacy issue. You don't want to take a picture of your kid by wearing or not wearing any clothes, or your wife or yourself, for that matter. And then we came up with a sensor based, so you just move the phone. So we don't use any picture
Wow.
based camera sensor image processing. So just moving the mobile phone on your body. So for instance, if you want to measure your height, just place the phone on the ground next to your feet and pick it up, put it on your head. Just by moving the phone from the ground to your head, we know to measure your height. And the same thing we're
Incredible.
doing for your chest, for your hips, and we're building your profile. So
Amazing.
that's how it's all started. Um, it sounds very easy, but it's not. And there were so many, as every startup company, there are so many things that might go wrong. Everything you think will that might go wrong probably will go wrong, and that's where you need to put yourself. And it took us almost 5 years to develop this simple thing that
Wow.
measuring with your mobile device. And I always believed, and I still believe it's a great idea. And today, that we start selling, and we have companies like Levi's and Penti and US Polo using our system and using our solution and showing such a great results on decreasing returns and increasing conversion and helping them actually getting more revenues, or even more important, making the world that we're living here in much more greener in terms of just returns, just reducing the amounts of shipment, the amount of logistics, getting the right size to the clients. This is one of the things that I think it's very important, that combining actually technology, consumer journey, and the planet we're living in.
Amazing.
So that's
Amazing.
one of the things that we're doing in MySize.
I have to ask, but just on that. So you're talking about the technology side of it, but I'm immediately curious about the supply chain and how these different apparel companies are responding to it. Because essentially you're saying the way that we've been thinking about sizes for the last 100 years or so, I don't know however long, I'm getting maybe even more than that, is just upside down. We have to shift the responsibility from the consumer to the brand. We have to shift the understanding of how to measure size to be something that is more personalized and unique to the individual, and not just as a three-tiered, categorized way. Tell me a little bit about the perception from the companies, that how are they responding to this idea?
So, sizes is such an easy thing that got so complicated because of the brands, because of the consumers, because of everything to do with how do we look at ourselves in the mirror, and how the brands are marketing their items to us as a consumers. And then it started as you have only small, medium, large, and extra large. And then all of a sudden, small becomes a zero size.
Right.
And all of a sudden, zero became double zero size. And then it got all complicated. And why? Because the brands wanted us to, when we're buying zero or when we're buying double zero, it makes us look better. It makes us feel better. And buying garments is not usually, it's not something that you need. It's something that you want. It's something that comes from your gut. It's something that you're passionate about. It's not that you need this extra t-shirt, or you need that extra dress, or you need that extra bra. Not at all. You want it. And that's where the branding and marketing is all about. And that's where sizing is came. And that's why today Levi's has different size chart, and Victoria's Secret have this different size chart, and each and every brand has different size chart from brand to brand. And if you're buying medium in Puma, it doesn't mean that you're medium in Adidas.
Right.
And it's all across. And that's why in shoe sizes, you have about 70% returns. 70% returns. It's crazy. Um, and then if you put on top of that the methods that like Amazon brought to the world, that go ahead, buy as much as you want, don't care about the shipment, we will pay for the shipment. Take as much as you want, measure it, take it, try it on. Whatever you don't want, send back. We will take care of the shipment, we will take of the payment. You don't care everything. Now Amazon is losing money. They are losing money on this business, but they want to get more consumer on board for the other businesses. They want to increase the traffic because they have other things to take care about. But that's
Right.
not the case with other retailers. That's not the case with 99% of the retailers. They cannot cope with these losses. They cannot live in this market that gives everything for free. And even far further, the planet that we're living in cannot sustain 70% returns, or 50% returns in Germany, or even 30% returns. This is crazy numbers. This is numbers
Unbelievable.
that the industry, it's killing itself.
Yeah.
And since few years ago, before the COVID came, online was a very small part of the big brands. If you
Right.
take Adidas, for example, about 92% was the revenue came from offline stores.
Really?
When COVID came, yeah,
Wow.
when COVID came, in one day or in several days, 92% of the sales, of the revenues got stopped because stores got closed.
Wow.
And then they realize and then how much they need to invest in online. And then us as a consumers, the part that didn't buy so much online, now realize that we don't have any other choice. We need to buy
Yeah.
online. And then we scratched ourselves like, what size I'm in Adidas? What size I need to buy for my kid? Because many of us are still buying offline. And then we've seen the revenue start kicking in from the online as well. But as well, the returns came just afterwards. And then tools like MySize, tools like other consumer journey tools that are helping online retailers becomes a necessity. Necessity, a must-have tools in the online world. And today you can see Nike just their online presence jumped in 30%. The same with Adidas, and the same with other brands. And this is for the big ones. The small one had the same type of phenomena. But now we're seeing the big growth of online, the big growth of companies like MySize, that tools like ours are needed for the online and consumer journey, and not just for the online business to make more money, but for the planet that we're living in. Let's buy only one item. Let's buy an item that we actually need instead of buying 3 or 4 items or 5 different pairs of shoes because we know we can return it. Let's buy one
Amazing.
that actually will fit us and leave it with us.
I love the rationale. Tell me a little bit about the business decision to go public on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, then going public on the New York Stock Exchange, remaining on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. What was that thought process like for you?
So, MySize is my first company which is public. All the other were private, completely private. And that the idea of getting MySize public from day one was let's try this out. Because when I started MySize, it was just a dream. I didn't have a product. I just had an idea that I need to start building and still need to start writing. And when I started it, there were several articles by Google that a few years back that says the sensors inside the mobile phone are not accurate enough to measure distances.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had, when we went to VCs, the regular way that you get money on startup is they said, "Look, Ronen, it won't work. This thing will not work. Look at Google. Look at this. Look at these articles. This sensor thing will not work. It will be very hard." And the guys who actually want to give money, they want to take so much percentage for so little money. That said, that will not work. I will not stay. And this is an advice for you guys who want to build a business. Always think about round B, round C, the next round of financing, and how much percentage you will be left with managing your company. Because there is never, in one round, you cannot get enough money to get your company up and running. So always think about the next round and stay with enough percentage in the company so you can make money, because you're clever enough to work as a side wing in another company, and you will make enough salary and you get your options and everything. But if you want to run your own business, which is a lot of headache and a lot of responsibility, stay with a big chunk of the company so you can earn as much as you need and you can still take control and have decisions inside the company. So always think about yourself. So we decided to get MySize as a publicly traded company. So I bought a shell. It's a shelf company that was stayed in the TASE stock market, and then we raised money into it by actually selling the dream, giving the dream pitch of the company and where it headed, and it actually worked. People
Amazing.
believed in the story, believed in the journey, invested
You
money, and we started trading in Tel Aviv stock exchange. And we started working and developing and making this thing happen. And in 2015, we actually released the first product, which is just measuring surfaces by moving the mobile phone. It's called Size Up. You can download it from the App Store and for the Google Play. For if you want a ruler inside your mobile phone. By the way, it works better than Apple Measure, the Measure app. It works much better. You can check me out. So 2015 we released that, and in 2016 was July 16, we've uplisted into NASDAQ. And uplisted into NASDAQ was the real dream because the market is in the US. The real investors are in the US. The real clients are in the US. That's where we want to be. We want to be where actually everything happens. And then we have uplisted into NASDAQ, and we raised the big chunk of money from US investors, from banks, from doing roadshows and everything to do with actually bringing this story into the investor ears, and we got up to date. We've raised about $35 million into the company.
Amazing.
And that's where we're at.
I love it, Ronen. Thank you so much for joining me and telling me your story. I have so many more questions, and unfortunately, I called this show 20-minute leaders. I have 3 more fun questions for you, and so we'll get to those. And I want to take you back to your childhood. What fascinated you as a kid? What obviously it wasn't school, from what I understand. But what was something that really caught your attention and you were passionate about?
I was always a kid that didn't stay at the same place. I always like to disassemble things, and everything I found, I like to disassemble. I never knew how to assemble it back. That was that was the other part. And I keep putting out engines and of vehicles and of motorbikes, and I like to tear them apart to see how it works from the inside. But when it told me, okay, now bring it back in, that was the hard part. That I left it there.
I love it.
So one of the things I always wanted as an older guy, I learned how to bring them back, these parts back in. Now I actually assemble it back in as a hobby. This relaxation part. Today I'm building things as well.
Very, very cool. And where do you gain inspiration from today? Where does the inspiration come to you from?
So I love to hear leaders. I like to hear leaders like Bill Gates. I love to hear other leaders that actually paving the ways for entrepreneurs like us, from leaders on the political side, on the innovation side. I love to hear TED Talks on different things, and that's where I get my inspiration from other leaders that actually done it, were there, made their mistakes, and actually knew how to get over it by different things that they've done, by thinking out of the box and not giving up. And I always say, don't give up, even if you see hard things. And getting a startup company up in the air is very hard. You hear no for so many times, and I know you hear it from so many people. But when you're in it, and you're getting the first no, and the second no, and the 10th no, and the 50th no, you're almost about to give up. Don't give up, because if you believe in what you do, stay with it. It will come up. It will come up, and it will rise up again. And if you fail in the first company, build the second one. Because that's the only way to bring your ideas back to life.
Amazing. And what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
I'm a people person. I didn't like the COVID. I'm a people person. I like to be outside, to talk to people. Second, I'm very stubborn in what I love, and I always love to understand why I get no for an answer and try to get around it. And I'm typically a sales guy. If I was reborn, my first job was to be a sales, not stand or work in front of a computer. That's the things that I love, and I think about myself.
Amazing. Ronen, toda rabba. Thank you very, very much. Stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.